The 13th of January today, and it was deadlift day for me. This is my last day off before I hit night shifts. I hit night shifts tomorrow night, and I wanted to do some heavier lifting, something to really tax my central nervous system. So I decided to do some trap bar deadlifts, and then finish off with some Romanian deadlifts at the end, just light, because it's a movement that I sort of still getting used to. Um, and look, it was a good session. It was a solid session. My plan was to try and work to 140 kilos, so sort of double my body weight, get as close to 140 kilos as I can get while still feeling good. You can see here I'm just going through sort of my warm up at the start. This exercise right here, I actually learned from a physio about 6 months ago. Excellent exercise to warm up your back, sort of just get that loosening up of the spine and a little bit of rotation both ways, just to ease out some of that stiffness. I mentioned yesterday I felt a little bit stiff in my back, so I spent a lot of time stretching before going to the gym today, and then I took my time warming up in the gym before lifting any weight. So my plan was to sort of do like a pyramid up to as close as I can get to 140, and then back down to the 70 kilos. So I start off with 70 kilos. I weigh 70 kilos, 71, 72 kilos. So I thought I'd start off with my body weight and then get as close to as I can to my, double my body weight, and then just work my way back down. Obviously, 8 reps on the lighter weight, so 8 reps on the 70 kilos, and then as I get heavier and heavier and heavier, 4 to 5 reps, 5 reps max. Sort of when I'm at 100 kilos and above, I find is probably what I'm more efficient in. After 5, I sort of start to lose my form a little bit, which I don't want to do. I don't want to compromise good form for heavier weight. I don't want to risk injury that way. So I feel like that's probably the set I'm comfortable with when I'm lifting heavier. And look, today I felt pretty good, and I managed to clear 130 for 4 reps at the end. And I sort of decided then looking at the video, I probably could have added another 5 aside just to hit that 140, but when I was doing it, I didn't feel like I was moving it that great off the ground. It took me ages to actually get it up off the ground, although like when I looked at the video now after I just did a quick cut through of it, it actually looked better on the GoPro than probably what it felt like in the gym. I just felt like it was stuck on the ground for longer than probably what it actually was. So look, that's why I'm doing this log. I need to know how I feel every day. I need some footage of my training. So the next time I know, I can probably, if I'm still feeling the same way, I can probably hit that 140 next time. Which is, I think, anything above 140 sort of a PR for my trap bar deadlift. I haven't gone anything higher than that. So look, yeah, it felt really good. Spent a lot of time warming up. Sort of smashed out sort of 3 sets of 8 at 70 kilos, and then a set of 5 at 100 kilos, then 1 set of 4 here, which is at 130 kilos. Which, yeah, like doesn't look terrible on here, but I don't know. I think it's different as well. Like, you get a different perspective when you're watching yourself do something in the mirror, like in the mirror at the gym, as opposed to when you see yourself filmed afterwards. I thought my form was probably a little bit terrible and I was struggling too much there at the time. But looking back at it, like, for me, it doesn't look too terrible. I know my form's not perfect, but I've got it to a way where I know I'm not going to put too much stress on my back or on my posterior chain. I'm using everything. I'm using good drive through the hamstrings and the glutes, and a little bit through the quads to get the bar off the ground, and then it's sort of glutes, lower back, and all those accessory muscles. Once it's sort of, once the weights are off the ground, then anything sort of past my mid tibia is probably lower back, and the rest of the posterior chain. But yeah, look, love the exercise. I love how strong it makes me feel. I've talked previously about and the associated endocrinology that happens afterwards as well, or the hormonal effects that heavy lifting has on your body, and the raise in testosterone, and the increase in all these other growth hormones, and hormones that help your muscle development. So yeah, you get that sort of associated increase in testosterone, which just adds to the growth and repair of other muscle, like all your muscles, not just the muscles that are being trained in the deadlift. Yes, they'll get probably the best hit of it, but even the back and bis that I trained the other day, or when I trained legs or something like that, everything that's still sort of recovering will get a benefit from this. So as you see here, I just did a few more warm-ups with the bar before I just hit the RDLs. I don't really deadlift with the bar too much. I just think at this point in time my form's not 100% correct, and I'm probably not as strong as I need to be in those posterior chain areas to do deadlifts just with the barbell. Although when I look on video here, like, the form looks okay. But obviously it's a lightweight as well. It's only 15, 30, 50 kilos. It's only 50 kilos including the bar. But again, fantastic exercises, RDLs, Romanian deadlifts. I could really, really feel myself sort of through my glutes and my back and my hamstrings really controlling the bar at this weight as well. I think the biggest thing I want to try and get out of this exercise is controlling the bar on the way down. I think it's easy enough to pull the bar up, but controlling it on the way down so that you're not rushing your way down and it's putting too much strain on your back. But then to be able to just sort of have it move it in a controlled manner, close to the ground but not quite to the ground, sort of halfway down your tibia, and then to be able to pull and let everything contract and pull it back up. Excellent exercise, excellent movement. Takes a lot of concentration for myself. I have to concentrate on all the muscle groups involved, and try not to compromise my form or let my chest cave in, or let my back round too much. So yeah, fantastic movement. I felt really good today. This was all I did today. Afterwards, I've just gotten home. I've just cut up the video quickly and I'm recording it now. So it's only about 45 minutes after I did the lift. It's about 2:30 in the afternoon. Yeah, look, I'm ready for a nap now. It's one of those workouts where when you do those heavy lifts, you feel great doing them. You feel like you're strong. Everything's moving well, and then you sort of get home, and then you have that CNS crash where your nervous system has been primed for this hour and a half to do these heavier lifts. And then your body recognizes that once you get home and once you've had a little bit to eat, sort of get down, you sit down on the couch, or you do whatever, you crash. All that prime, your CNS knows that, all right, it doesn't have to be primed to do these lifts anymore. It's got to relax. Otherwise it's going to burn itself out. So yeah, I'm probably ready to have a good sleep now, and get into my sort of night shift routine training, which you'll see more of the coming days. Which primarily involves running. On my night shifts, I get an hour break overnight at work. So when I get these breaks, I usually run about 5Ks during my hour break of my night shift, and that's usually been my training. But yeah, look, I find that on my night shift, my strength training definitely gets a little bit. Probably doesn't decrease too much, but it gets neglected a little bit. There's less eating, there's less sleeping and things like that on night shift. You sort of lose your appetite, probably because you're too tired and everything's out of whack. So there's usually less gym training from me and just more cardio. I just use the cardio sort of just to clear my head in the middle of probably about 3 o'clock in the morning I have my break. It just sort of clears my head, and I just sort of go through the motions and get some Ks in my legs, get some miles in my legs. And just keep the cardio maintained. So yeah, I'll be filming some more of that tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll probably do another gym session in the afternoon when I wake up, and then from then on out it'll be running for the next 4 days. That's probably enough from me again. So cheers, and I'll see you in the next log.